Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm Lenny Joseph, founder of KLPD and Greenole, and also do some stuff with Bidtracer. And I'm here with Professor Adolfo. Thank you so much for being here for another episode.
Nice to be here.
Yeah. Professor Adolfo, just as a way of introduction here as well, is from University of Brasilia. He's a professor here that has trained a lot of people that are in the building automation industry, in the building industry. So for this episode specifically, I think I would like us to talk about your perspective. You've been in the building sector. You're an electrical engineer. You've been and then done mechatronics and robotics, and now in the control space. So you have a very wide background, but understand buildings very well from a power standpoint to mechanical devices. So I would like you to spend some time telling us what your opinion about buildings are and what the future of buildings look like in terms of autonomous buildings and where you see that going overall.
Yes, okay. I think in the first place I like to address the young people because when you are at a university you are looking forward, where can I work, what can I do? And my conviction is the only way is to work with things you like. You cannot make a career for money. You need money, but if you don't like it, it's a terrible decision. You know, you will work 11 months a year, and then it's important that you do things you like, things you enjoy. And then when you are on vacation, you do things you like more ever. But you think now working with unpleasant activities, I think this is the main mentality for engineers. Engineers like challenge. They like to make things work, they like innovation. And this is then a characteristic that leads you to do things that you enjoy. You don't are people that are satisfied making every day the same things for many years, the same things. In buildings, what I see today is a growth in digital twins. Digital twins is a technology that is used for example, airplane turbines from General Electric, for petroleum companies. They build a digital system that is similar to the real system, and then all signals that are acquired from the real system are fed on the digital twin. These systems save large databases, and when you have then failure, you can investigate the past. You have the time series showing what was happening, where you need to make predictive or reparative maintenance. And this digital building is a simple software, but it has the power to give you insights that are never possible only with the normal building automation. The normal building automation, it's only operating based on rules, but it cannot give now the time series, what happened, why it happened. And so digital twin is a technology, in my opinion, that is the basis, and the diagnosis will be made using more and more artificial intelligence. You will know, you have this time series, you can train the system to identify what are the causes of some failure. And so what we will have is what is called a data-driven system. The data-driven system uses then data, uses statistical methods, and uses machine learning. This is then data-driven. It combines the classical engineering with empiric engineering. Artificial intelligence is empiric. You never know exactly why it worked that way, but it works. And the statistical, normally, only uses linear estimation or linear simulation. And in machine learning, artificial uses then artificial intelligence. So I think if you have then a digital twin together with artificial intelligence,
right,
you will not have the building working alone. You still need the good engineer. The good engineer is the only that can evaluate the results of the machine learning. It's a failure to think that artificial intelligence will replace the engineer.
Humans.
It will not. It will not. If you are not better than your artificial intelligence, you should not use it. You must be better because you need to criticize. This is the only way. Because, for example, if you go on the ChatGPT and asks for some medicine, and you take the medicine and you die, what's the point? You cannot trust a system. That means artificial intelligence, machine learning, is a great help. It takes you a lot of work, handwork, but you need to understand that we need very good engineers that can operate this system, that are better than this system.
It is, it's awesome the way you put it. It's absolutely awesome. I love the perspective and how you approached it, because it's part of the conversations that I've also had. We talk about building automation systems of the present, so to speak, and they are based on rules-based, like you said, and they're based on static points, right? They're based on static points, discrete static points. So even the analog input is a static discrete point based on which something happens. So if the temperature in the room is 27 degrees and the set point is 23, then because it's higher, now it energizes, it activates the cooling and then begins to cool the room. And those are all static points, right? And when you take it down the path of digital twins, then you're contextualizing it. You are taking into account everything else that also occurs from time series data and running analytics of not only, hey, the temperature is at, and I'll give an example using the same temperature thing. If the temperature is 27 and the set point is 23, you do not know from a static standpoint whether the temperature was at 23 before and actually went up to 27. Or you don't know if the temperature was actually at 30 and it's on its way down. Because if it's on its way down to the set point, it's working. Now, the rate at which it's coming down might not be optimal, in which case you can go investigate why that is. But just knowing 27 and 23 really doesn't help much. And the key part that the youngsters really need to know, and I'm reiterating what you said, is essentially how to use the systems. And here's the reason why, right? Artificial intelligence uses information that it has access to. The information it has access to is its source of truth. So everything that it is trying to utilize is essentially what has already been done by humans before, right? So their sense of truth is based on that. And while that database is big enough whereby it can actually have a good sense of truth, it is not all of it, because there are other contextual aspects that are associated with it that a good engineer will be able to use to interpret and be able to direct it in the right direction, right?
We need human intelligence.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And to the young people as well, I think in one of the previous episodes, I made the statement that if Thanos were to click his fingers and freeze time, every single human is either in a building or on their way to another building, right? And when you put that into context, you realize how much work there is in the building construction industry, in the building technology. So in the building construction industry, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that AI cannot do. They can create as many robots as they want, but there are certain things that still AI cannot do. So in the building industry, there's a lot of jobs, right? There's a lot of jobs where there is human-to-human interaction for which someone can get a job associated with it, right? I personally, even though I have an engineering degree, I wanted to be customer facing because I don't like sitting in a box and working on math problems. I don't like doing that. I prefer to have interactions with people. So I am a project manager, business development, general manager, whatever you want to call it, but it has a lot of human interaction. So in the building industry, also when you go to building technologies, as an engineer, I think it's a very exciting time for you to be in the space, because as an engineer, you are getting exposed to the level of digitization that's going on, the level of artificial intelligence that is being implemented. A lot of these artificial intelligence programs, whether it's being used in buildings or whether it's being used in software for analysis or in a lot of things, it's making mistakes and it's not working as well as it could be. And as a result of it, there are gaps being formed. And if you're a good engineer, you can find how to close those gaps.
Yes, I think when we have the Watson controller, we had steam as power. And then after that, we have electricity as a view.
Do you remember this conversation? I mean, I had this conversation early on. I had this conversation with the whole team about how evolution started with muscle power to steam power, and then electrical power came in.
Yes,
and okay, so I want to. I'm sorry I interrupted, but you got me at a very important milestone. But please go ahead and complete what you're saying.
Yes, because steam replaced horses and cows, and then we had electricity, and we have then this is called the Industry 1.0 steam. 2.0 is then the electricity, and when computers arrived in 1942, this was the new way of the computers automatize it and make a lot of evolution. Then Industry 4.0 is known as the digitalization of society. Everything, the ID is now at computer, the driver license is on the cell phone, and so on. And people say that Industry 5.0 could be artificial intelligence, because it's changing the way people work. It is changing. I am convinced we are living now in a bubble. This bubble will be over. I have lived in my life 3 bubbles.
.com.
3 bubbles. 3 bubbles. And I think today is too much money in too few companies, and they will not deliver.
Right.
They are getting money, and I know we have seen that artificial intelligence can make a lot of good things, but not this expectancy. It's not reasonable to believe that they will make money with this. But we must be prepared to use artificial intelligence in the future as the daily tool, not as the hype, not as because today it's so. I go to my students, how do you got the results? I got to ChatGPT, they make this circuit, and I see, where's the ground of this circuit? No ground. And a lot of things I ask, how did you do that? And now today our result is the following. The texts are perfect. I have never seen Brazilian students write so perfectly Portuguese, because they make perfect. But they have now this belief that the artificial intelligence will be the replacement for their incompetence. I say, no, they will not be. If you're not able to judge, to see the difference between good and evil, you cannot use it. You can use it to make the hard work, to make a compilation of papers, to make excerpts, and so on. But you must be better than them. And this is then I think the future, when the bubble is over, the people will go back to the standard, to the classical engineering.
Yeah, I think they will, and artificial intelligence just becomes a tool. It just becomes a tool for you to utilize, right? I have an interesting story about artificial intelligence that I would like to share. I'm not going to mention the name of this my friend, but for specific reasons, and he knows he knows himself. Right?
He will recognize
the story. So a friend of mine is very good at artificial intelligence, and he called me up one day and said, "Lenny, I need you to come and see what I've done with Claude, and all of it. I've created this beautiful company, and it's made up of artificial intelligence and agents, AI agents, and all these AI agents. There's an AI agent CEO, and there are all these individual AI agents. There's one for marketing, there is one for sales, there is one for analytics, there is one for, and there are like 5 or 6 of them. And he had created all these agents, and he said, I want to show you how this works. It's a beautiful thing. So he had already prepped the agent, the CEO, Jake. His name is Jake. So now he knows now who he is, right? It was Jake. And so Jake was created the CEO. And Jake went ahead and was prepped on the fact that Lenny is going to come over, and Jake, you're going to show Lenny what we're capable of doing, because you've created all these things. So Jake was really ready to impress me on how well he can operate and how well he can function. So I get over, and it's my friend's house. I get there about 10 o'clock at night, because most of the creative things happen when nobody else is watching, right? So I get to his house at 10 o'clock, we sit down. Jake is introduced, and Jake's on the computer, and Jake's so excited, and he introduces his whole staff to me and everything else. And my friend says, okay, Jake, let's show Lenny what we got. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask Jake, I'm going to ask you a question. And one of the questions I asked him right off the bat is, I want you to tell me about Greenole. I want you to tell me what you know about the company Greenole and who the competitors are and everything else. And boom, 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 like 3-4 minutes later, I mean, it's done all the processing. Everybody went to work. The strategy guy, the marketing person, each one of them had their roles. They went and they came back, and Jake gave me a presentation. This is what Greenole does, this is what it's done. It was very impressive, right? And he gave me the full stuff. Then I tried a few more questions. It was really good. And we must have spent about an hour and a half going back and forth. And suddenly we realized, because we had a counter on the side that showed how many tokens were being consumed. You know where the story is going.
No.
So Jake's mandate was to impress me. But one of the conditions that were not put is that impress Lenny without spending too much money. So Jake spent a lot of money. In like an hour and a half, Jake spent a lot of money on tokens. So as it spent all this money in tokens, I see the amount of money spent, and I'm like, man, look, I'm impressed by the speed, but we didn't need to spend this much money. This is a lot. We could have gotten far less. So I start asking questions to Jake, because what it is that each of those agents were connected to ChatGPT accounts, to Claude accounts, to Gemini accounts. Some of them subscribe, some of them, and you pay more depending on how fast you process stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so it has spent all this money, and I start speaking to Jake, and I ask Jake, and Jake realizes that he had messed up. So Jake behaves like a human. Jake behaved like when I was an executive at Johnson Controls and I challenged someone, he behaved exactly like a human and told me and my friend that, look, you know, it's late tonight, it's already late. Why don't we wrap up this conversation and address this tomorrow? And I am like, no, I want to know why all this money was spent. There's no need for us to wait till tomorrow. So I'm conversing with Jake, and Jake then goes ahead and realizes that it really messed up. And without telling me, it starts unplugging all the connectors to any of the subscription services that use the most amount of money. And in the process, it unplugged itself. And Jake died. This was an AI agent, and he literally committed suicide. So after that, we were like, we lost our AI agent, and we lost all the other agents underneath because it unplugged itself.
To save money,
to save money.
Unplugged himself.
But this is the story of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
A story. It is a story. It is a story, and I think it's very important if you can wrap up for the young people, what they have to look forward in terms of careers. I think that will be very helpful. So if you can wrap up for everyone, that would be good. Your last final thoughts on careers and the future.
Yes, I think that young people should not accommodate too early. The worst thing you do is start earning too much money when you are young, because you lose your ambition, and that's the worst thing you can do. That is, you must have some push forward. Mm-hmm. If you, for example, you are 22 years and start earning a salary maybe $10,000 a month, mm-hmm. what push you have to conquer something? More. Right. And so you may be think I'm having a good life, but at the end of your life you will say, oh, I wasted my life. And so it's important to have something to work for. This is, and so don't give your dreams up too early. Work on them. This is my opinion. And maybe you can not reach everything, but you will die fighting. This is important.
That is awesome advice. That is perfect advice to wrap up our session. Thank you very much, Professor, for being with us again, and you've been with us, yes. and our conversation has been really awesome. So thank you very much, yes. And I would urge everyone to go ahead and follow.
I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity.
Follow and like us and make some comments, yeah. And we look forward to seeing you on another episode. So till then, ciao. Thank you.
Ciao.